Many times we look at blessing or to be blessed as good things or things that work in our favor. Like someone might, some things might be going really well for someone, and you might say, that person is really blessed. But that's not how scripture always treats blessings or being blessed by how things go well for us or how we feel. Let's take a look at Abraham in Genesis 24:1. It says, and God blessed Abraham in all things. Well, let's take a look at Abraham's life. He was called to leave his homeland to go to the land of Canaan. His father dies on the way. He has issues with his wife and his wife's maid, with Ishmael and Isaac. He has issues with the surrounding nations, with his nephew Lot, and with Egypt, and with famines, and with wells, and even has the trial of offering up his son Isaac. And so yet it says that Abraham was blessed in all things. And it's easy to see and look that, yeah, Abraham was really wealthy and had lots of servants and lots of wealth, and God blessed him abundantly in that. But it's not that just that God blessed him with wealth, but it can be read in Genesis 24:1 that Abraham saw God's blessing in all things, whether it was good or whether it was not as well, not as good, but that he saw God's blessing in all things. And so this gets down to perception and how we perceive things. And many times we are limited in our view and our perception because we're living in the moment and in the now, where God, he sees all things. And so when we read this verse, Genesis 24:1, it's showing that Abraham saw God's blessing in all things. So God's blessing doesn't mean that there won't be hardships or difficulty, but it's just a life of faith, a life of trusting and believing that God is in control, that he sees the end from the beginning, even when we can only see in the current present. Let's take a look at David's Psalm 34:8, where he says, taste and see that the Lord is good. Blessed is the man who trusts in the Lord. These words, taste and see, are both imperatives. They're commands. David was also experiencing hardships like Abraham and difficulties. And he's commanding us, his readers, to taste and see. And if you look at these words, they carry the essence of perception, right? He's reminding us to perceive that the Lord is good and trust, and we will be blessed. And so this is exactly what we see in Genesis 24:1 in the life of Abraham. To trust in the Lord is to be blessed, and it's to taste and see, to perceive that the Lord is good. And this is why Paul can write in Romans 8:28 that God works out all things for good to those who love him. Right? Even in the difficulties and even in the challenges of life, we can trust that the Lord is there with us and seeing us through it. And we can perceive that he is moving and acting in those moments. And we know that he is good. It's not to minimize the difficulties or hardship, but it's to magnify God's goodness even in those difficult times. And while our perception sometimes gets skewed on the challenges and trials that we face, we can ultimately take a step back and remember to focus on the one who is good and who is blessing us, and know that we are blessed in all things, just like Genesis 24:1 says. If you feel led, feel free to comment down below any difficulties or hardships you may be going through, where we can comment and edify one another. Life does get difficult sometimes, and it's easy to focus on the challenges that lie in front of us. And it's just a good reminder from these few scripture verses to put our trust and focus on the Lord, even in those times, and knowing that he is in control. So thank you for watching this far if you've made it. I appreciate you watching the content. Be blessed.